with Vintage and Vinyl, and I'll be spinning some rockin' 50s records every week here on my channel, as well as sharing some cool Coca-Cola collectibles and other neat vintage finds. Stay tuned! Hey guys, this is Katie with Vintage and Vinyl, back with another great video for you today. In this video, of course, we're not in front of the normal Coke wall, and that's because we're getting in the Christmas spirit by writing some handwritten notes. Yes, I'm sending out Christmas cards to folks in the Vintage and Vinyl community, and I think this is going to be so much fun this year. I've already mailed about 15 of them out, so some of you guys may have already gotten your Christmas cards already from me, but I thought it would be fun to start a Christmas card exchange. So if you want to write me, you can email me. My email is linked down below, or you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is below as well, and I will message you back with the address. And if you send me a Christmas card, I promise I will mail you one back. So let's have some fun exchanging Christmas cards this year and bringing a little merriment to people. I love the whole aspect of snail mail. It's fun to get a custom card from someone. Definitely brings a lot of joy. And I think that the art of writing handwritten notes is getting slowly lost. And to me, that is very sad. I love writing custom notes and putting on a stamp, and just all of that is so much fun to me. So I'm going to show you how I use my custom wax seal. So if you have gotten friend mail from me, or you bought something from my first live sale, I have used my V&V stamp, and a lot of you guys have gotten that and commented how much you like it. So I thought it would be fun today to show you how to do wax seals, and of course how you can create some really fun custom Christmas cards. So let me show you what you need to actually complete this project. First, obviously, you're going to need some Christmas cards, and I got a really good deal last year at the Dollar Tree. I think I got 30 of them, and they were good quality for $1. But this year I can't go out to the Dollar Tree, so I found an even better deal, I think, on Amazon. They had a set of papyrus cards. Now, if you know papyrus, they're a really nice quality card, and I think you got both of them for $25, and there were 25 cards in each box, which for papyrus is a really good steal of a deal. So I bought those Black Friday special on Amazon, and that's what I'm using for my Christmas cards this year. And I will say they're really good quality. So the first card that I have is this really lovely Christmas tree. It's got the kind of the sheen and shimmer that I like, and then it's got the holly and berry with all these fun sayings. So it says, joy, Merry Christmas, peace, wonder, and hope, which I love. The inside says, Happy Holidays and a wonderful new year to you and yours, which I just think is a lovely saying. I'm kind of picky about some of the sayings. I don't like them to be overly sappy, but I don't like them to just be like plain happy holidays, because to me that's kind of boring. So I really like that card. And then you get this really nice thick red envelope with the gold lining, which is just extra nice. I just think that's great. And then of course it does come with some seals. So you can choose to use these, or you can use your own wax seal, and we'll be using the wax seal today. So I think that's extra fun. And then I also got this set. So you got 2 in the lot, and what I use is a mixture of cards. I don't have like one Christmas card that's just mine. I like to do 2 different ones and send them out to different people depending on what I feel they might like. Of course, both of these are nice because they're very gender neutral. You don't have to worry that one might be overly girly or too sappy. They're just sort of plain and perfect for anybody. So this next one comes with a lovely green envelope. I love how festive these envelopes are. And then you get the gold on the inside with this cool shimmer. And of course your seals, and then you have this beautiful pine cone with the green and that shimmery design on the outside. The inside says holiday wishes for happiness, peace, and a wonderful year to come, which I just think is also very plain but lovely. and nice. So I got both of those. You get 25 in the box, and I think both of them were $25 on Amazon. Don't know if they're still running the special or not, but I think it's a really good deal. The next thing that you're going to need, and you can of course use any Christmas cards you want, but those are mine. But the next thing you're going to need, of course, is some stamps, and I was running out of stamps, so I ended up going to UPS store, and they were able to deliver some stamps to my car via order pickup, and I did these holiday stamps. So I just think these are so fun. They don't cost any more than your regular book of stamps, and they're so festive, and I just think they're really wonderful. So you've got the sheep that says all is calm, all is bright. You have Santa, jolly old St. Nicholas. You have one horse open sleigh, and fa la 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 with the cookies. So just some fun custom holiday stamps from UPS or USPS, custom stamps that say Christmas carols, I think is the name of these, from the US Post Office. Now, the other thing you're going to need, of course, is the part where you do the wax seal. So I used a company called Letter Seals. Now, they are a great company. They're based in the USA. They're a small-owned business, I think, by a local family, and they ship, of course, all over the US, but they are really great. I felt like their products were very high quality. Their prices were reasonable. One stamp, I think, was $25, which is good considering you reuse it pretty much forever. And of course, it's custom, so it is going to be a little bit more than, say, like $9, but I felt like that was very reasonable compared to other stamps that I had seen online. Now, I am not sponsored by them. I just happened to order through their company and felt like they did a really wonderful job at providing a great product and something fun and custom. So if you would like to use them, I will link them down below because they are a really, really good company. Now I have my traditional wax seal with the V and V. This is the large size stamp, and it comes with the handle. I also ordered from them the small stamp. And this one I use if I'm not doing anything really YouTube related. I just want to send a note to a friend or some family. It's just got my initials on it. And I like that Greek key design that's going around the outside. Of course, you can choose any design and configuration you want when you go onto their website. The other thing you're going to need, of course, is a wax spoon. So basically a spoon for the wax to melt in, and then you can pour it onto your envelope, and then you'll need a cradle for the spoon because you really need some place to set it down as the wax is melting. So basically you put a candle under here, which most of these come with 5 or 6 candles, and then mine's pretty dirty because I've been using it a whole day before I filmed this video because I've been writing a lot of Christmas cards. And then you need a wax spoon, which I have been using the same colors basically for every Christmas card, so I haven't needed to clean it out in between. But if you're going to do custom colors and you want each card to be different, you will need a paper towel so that once the wax melts from your first pour, you can wipe it out and then do another color if you're going to do that. You also need a lighter. Oops. You need a lighter to go along with your candle so that the wax will melt. And then you need a set of wax in various colors, or you can do one color. When I ordered from Letter Seals, they gave me a bag of red wax, which I really feel like this is a nice quality red. It's like a true red. So I might order more of this just because I really, really like this red. And you get a pretty big sack of it for, I think, $4, which is very reasonable. But what I also like is there's something on Amazon. I'll link it down below, but I found this to be a really good bargain. A lot of people on different social medias that do wax sealing, if that's a word, wax seals. Yeah, wax sealing, wax seals. They seem to be using this kit a lot, and I just think that it's really economical. So you get all of these colors. Now, I have used some of them. That's why you're seeing empty holes, because I've been using this a lot. But basically, you get this whole thing for $12 on Amazon, plus a spoon and like 6 candles and some matches. So I think that's a super good deal. And this will last you a long time, even if you do 20 plus Christmas cards. And then, of course, you're going to need something fun to insert into the card. This is optional, but what I am going to be doing is inserting my custom business cards and the cards that I'm sending out, because I think it's kind of fun. I know a lot of YouTubers have been collecting these and putting them on a wall. I save all the cards and little things that I get from various people, whether from a live sale or just friend mail, because I think that's really special and fun. So I do save all of your cards, so I'm going to be including this as well. And then the last thing you need, of course, is a pen and your address book. Now, I'm old school and I still have an at-a-glance address book. I get this out and all my addresses are in it, and I can just flip through and it's easy peasy. So I've been using that to do my addresses, but of course if you have them stored digitally, you can do that as well. So that is basically all you need to get a Christmas card started and to do wax sealing. So I'm going to show you the process right now, and I think this is going to be really fun, and it's a great craft too if you want to do something at Christmas with your kids or with your family. You're stuck at home right now because of the pandemic. Get this kit, and I think you'll have a really good time playing around with the wax seals. And even if you don't get a custom one, there's plenty online that are really beautiful that have already prefab designs, which are great as well. So you can play around with all different things. Just go online and have fun looking for wax seals and wax and all of that kind of stuff. Now, I do want to mention there is something called a wax hot glue gun, and basically it's a gun that has a tube just like you would put wax into glue, not wax, but glue into a hot glue gun. You could get basically a wax stick that goes into the glue gun, and then you squirt it and it comes out and you stamp it just like you would any wax seal. Now, I have never used that, so I can't attest to how well that works. I really like this cradle method because you can get an exact amount and your seal comes out a little bit more perfectly, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a minute. So if you want to look up that option as well, that is available online if you're doing wax sealing. Okay, so let's get into some Christmas card fun. Okay guys, so I have written my card, I've addressed it, I put the stamp on, and my own little address label. I think those are really easy if you can get a bunch of those made or you get them free in the mail. Those definitely make it easier when you're writing out cards. So I've done all of that first, sealed the card, and now I am ready to do the wax seal. You want to do those other things first, because when you do the wax seal, if I were to flip this over and then try to write the address out on the front, it's going to be kind of uneven because you've got that lump on the back. So it's just easier to do all of that first. So all we have to do now is pick out what colors we want to use and then get the wax melted and stamp our stamp. So I think that we should do a variety of greens and reds because this is a red envelope. And of course, when you're doing wax sealing, you want to kind of figure out the ratio of certain colors so that it turns out well, because if you've used too many dark colors versus light colors, you're going to get kind of just a muddy looking wax seal, and that's not going to look very cool. So I've kind of played around with this in advance, and I know exactly what works. Now, if you're using the large stamper like I am here, and this one I forgot to measure it, but I think it's like 1 inch across or more than 1 inch, maybe 2 inches. You need about 5 wax pellets so that you have enough when you go to stamp into the wax to make it perfectly even. If you're using the small stamper, which this one, yeah, this one's probably 1 inch or so, you need only 3 wax pellets to make that work. So then it's kind of fun to then play with your colors and see out of that 5 or out of that 3 what colors need to be what. So what I have figured out for this envelope is it works really well if you choose a light color with some dark colors. So I'm going to pick a light green. Since we're doing Christmas, I'll do this darker green along with, I think, a gold is really beautiful. A gold's kind of like a standard color, so I always pick like a gold or a silver in the mix, so that way you get sort of that shimmery effect. And then I'm also going to do a red. So I like this red here by the company that I bought the Wax Seals from. I think it's a really good red. I've already gone through the red that's in here. There's a darker red, but it kind of makes things a little bit too dark if you're going to want to do green. So I'm going to do a light red. Now this red is going to be really pigmented. So when you melt this all down, this is going to kind of stand really strong in that group of colors. So I need 5, so I'm going to pick another green because there will be plenty of red. And so now I'm going to add one more green to the mix, or you could add another gold. So see kind of how I got to that configuration of colors. And I know I need 5 of them, but I don't want that red to just be totally red and overpower the green. And since the green is light, I'm going to pick 3 greens, and then I'm going to add a little bit of that gold for some shimmer. So now what I'm going to do is put this into my little wax spoon here. I can close my beautiful assortment of colors up because we are done with that. Of course, you can use any colors you want. You can design this for each person. You can do it different. It's just up to you. But definitely, I think finding out how many wax pellets you need really works out well. So once you get that down pat, you know for each letter I need this many, and then you can choose what colors you want, which is really the fun part. So normally I would put a candle under here and let this melt, but I have run all out of small candles, and since I'm filming this video, I'm just going to hold the lighter under it. You can certainly do this. I have seen lots of people do this safely online, but what you do need to do is have something like this plastic lid underneath so that if any wax drips down the side, which is very unlikely, but if it does, you want it to drip into the container, not on your hand or onto a table. So I am using this cardboard or this plastic container as sort of a safety measure in case anything gets spilled. I'm also wiping off the bottom of this because it's a little bit dirty from using it earlier. So I'm going to take my lighter, get it lit up, and I'm just going to hold it gently under this wax spoon, and I'm going to kind of move it around in circles so that the whole bottom of the spoon gets heated. Now this wax is going to start to melt pretty quickly once this gets hot. And you don't need to hold it under here for terribly long. You don't want the wax to start getting too bubbly because you're going to actually end up burning the wax. And then you're going to get this kind of like bubbly mess. And you don't want too many bubbles in your wax when you are pouring it, because then the image doesn't stay very clear and it just is kind of bubbly and brown looking. So you will get a little smoke off of the wax, that's normal. And you can start to see if it's going to show up. It is melting. I'm going to try to move this closer to the camera and hopefully that's focusing. Now as I'm swirling this around onto the flame, I'm kind of swirling the sides of the wax just so that all the colors get incorporated into the middle of the spoon. That way you don't have just sections of one color or another. So it kind of blends in all together. So just something that you don't have to do that because you're going to pour it out in a swirl motion anyway, but I kind of like to do that. And I'm just kind of lightly going around the bottom, that kind of thing. And it might get a little bit of a flame there if there's some residual wax on the bottom. Now you can start to see that it's getting a little bubbly, and I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but now is the time where I take off the flame, because if there's any bit of the pellet left in there, like you can see there's a little bit of the pellet inside, if that's going to focus. I don't know that it is, but I kind of can then swirl around the wax like this, and the residual heat from the bottom of the spoon that's already really hot, and the other wax is going to melt that last little pellet that's just taking a while to melt, so you don't have to worry about that. Now this is very hot, so you don't want to touch the bottom of it. That's just something to note. Now this is all melted and I'm ready to pour it onto my envelope. So what I'm going to do is pour it on, of course, the tip of the envelope where you have that point down at the bottom. And I'm going to pour it on in a circular motion. So I'm going to go around and around in a circular motion so that the colors sort of swirl out. And then when I've poured it all out, I can set that spoon back in my cradle. I can get my stamp and stamp it right into the middle and just sort of rock it back and forth so that it's even in the middle. That's really all you have to do. And I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes so that it dries and it gets nice and solidified, because you don't want to smear wax everywhere. And sometimes this does get a little bit messy if you're doing the spoon method with the lighter without having a candle, because the bottom of the spoon gets a little bit burnt with this like black stuff. So you might want to have a towel nearby just to wipe your hands. So you let that sit for a few minutes, kind of press it down into the wax, and then when you think that it's ready, you can pull it up and you have a beautiful wax seal. And so now we've got the gold and the green. Is the camera picking that up okay? And you can see how really beautiful that is. So you've got red, gold, and green with the V&V, and I think that just looks really classy on the back of this red envelope. So that is how you do a wax seal. And of course you can have fun with this. You can do any color combinations you want. You can get any kind of custom stamper or just a stamper that has a fun design on it, like a Christmas tree or a leaf. There's even Harry Potter ones I've seen. So there's all kinds of things you can do with these, and they are really fun. Well guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more about my wax seal process and had fun writing some Christmas cards with me. I enjoyed sharing it with you. And the card that I wrote today is going to a wonderful person named Cheryl Hoskins. She was the one that actually gave up the Christmas tree, the aluminum Christmas tree. She won that fair and square, and she said, you know what, nope, Katie was second in line and she can have it. And I am just blown away by her kindness. I look at it every day and it just brings me so much merriment to finally own a vintage aluminum Christmas tree and to see the shiny ornaments on it and remember those special times from when I was a kid. It just brings so much happiness. So Cheryl, thank you so much. You certainly didn't have to do that, but that is one of the reasons that I love this community. You guys are all so kind. I see every day how you're gifting each other things on the sales for Christmas, and it really just warms my heart. So I'm so glad that we have created a little family. And if this Christmas you're starting to get bummed out because you're not going to be with your family, just know you have a family right here on YouTube. So we are going to be your stand-in family this Christmas. And if you need a Christmas card, you want some merriment, please send me a Christmas card or just drop me a line on email or DM on Instagram, and I'll be glad to send you a Christmas card. I enjoy doing it, and it will be fun to create a little sense of merriment and wonder for everybody in the vintage and vinyl community. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope, as always, you will stay in, stay safe, binge YouTube, and be kind. Bye-bye now.
That's why I go for that rock and roll music any old way.